7 months after having been grounded, the bus rapid transit system is back on the road. This time, however, they would operate only during rush hours. Evelyn Tingwa reports.
The bus rapid system was introduced somewhere 2016, and about 245 buses were brought in, called the Ayalolo buses. Now, somewhere last year, majority of the buses were grounded due to lack of funds to run the services of the buses, to pay staff, and to buy fuel. Well, today we are told that the buses are back on the road. We will be finding out from officials as to whether lasting solutions have been found and if the buses will not be grounded again. Officials will not speak on camera, but information we gathered indicates the buses on the Accra-Amasaman corridor started work on Monday, June 10, but the Accra-Kaswa shuttle commenced work a month ago. Our source indicated the financial challenges, including staff salary arrears, which confronted the bus rapid transit system, leading to its suspension, have not been addressed, but management has decided on a different schedule. The buses would now operate only during morning and evening rush hours instead of the previous schedule where they were deployed throughout the day. At least 15 buses would be deployed in phases to make the system effective, since there is no support from government except from the sale of bus tickets. According to the source, 45 of the buses have been sent to Kumasi upon the request of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, while services on the Adenta-Accra and Dowenya-Accra corridors would commence soon. Meanwhile, designated lanes for
And President Akufo-Addo has called for a change in the governance structure of the International Labour Organization to advance social justice and promote decent work by setting international labour standards. The president was speaking at the 108th session of the International Labour Conference in Geneva, Switzerland, which is also to commemorate the centenary celebration of the organization.
According to President Akufo-Addo, African ministers of labor at their last meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, 2 months ago were of the strong conviction that improving governance at the ILO is synonymous with the effective implementation of the ILO's responsibility in the interest of its constituents. He said they supported the urgent call for making the governing body more representative by providing a means of appointment of its members, which takes into account the various geographic, economic and social interests of its constituent groups. The president indicated that his government is committed to a new social contract that promotes social dialogue in economic management and in the making of public policy.
Recognizing the severity of joblessness in Ghana, upon assumption of office, we have put in place bold, innovative and urgent steps to ameliorate the situation. We've turned our back on the old economy, which was based on the production and export of raw materials, and we've embarked on establishing a value-added industrialized economy supported by heightened agricultural productivity. This is the sure way of creating thousands and thousands of decent, well-paying jobs for the mass of Ghanaians and lifting them out of poverty.
He said his government has begun to rectify the neglect of skills training by modernizing and strengthening technical vocational education and training, TVET, institutions.
We're also tailoring the curriculum of skills development and job learning-based institutions to current industrial needs, both at the enterprise level and within the job market.
And let's now turn to our MTN Vision report on News 360 as our citizen journalist Cosmos Achu reports on buildings on waterways at Vume in the Volta region. Well, clearly a worrying one there. And just like Cosmos, we look forward to receiving your Vision report. You can send it via our WhatsApp number. It's 055-1433044.
Remember, we're live on TV3 Ghana on Facebook. This is News 360. We're live on DSTV channel 279 across the world on 3news.com. Stay with us. We're getting into the world of business and why you should be concerned about the debt levels according to the World Bank country director. Stay with us.
360, getting into the business segment this evening, starting off with World Bank Country Director Henry Kerali, who has warned that Ghana is at risk of high debt distress unless sustainable measures are taken to improve domestic revenue collection. An IMF fiscal monitor report released in April projected debt to GDP to hit 62% by the end of 2019. Henry Kerali was speaking at a media encounter in Accra.
Ghana's total debt stock expressed as a percentage of its gross domestic product, GDP, has fluctuated on a high mark for years. Debt to GDP stood at 73.1% in 2016, 70.5% in 2017, and 58% in 2018. The latest IMF fiscal monitor report projects Ghana's debt to GDP will hit 62% by end 2019. Country Director of the World Bank, Henry Kerali, says Ghana is at risk.
The debt sustainability analysis that is done by the World Bank and the IMF does look into this as a key indicator of debt distress. That analysis indicates that Ghana is at risk of high debt distress, primarily because of the revenue side, the domestic revenue being pretty weak.
He explains activities in the informal sector are significant and need to be captured within the tax net.
The level of debt is a concern. The debt dynamics is a concern because Ghana remains at a high risk of debt distress. The revenues to debt service is low, and because the exports to debt service is low. And so what we expect to see the government doing over time is to improve the revenue position.
He bemoaned the low collection rate of property tax, which he says has a high potential, and urged government to broaden the narrow economic base by shifting focus from extractives.
Now, in some other business news, the Securities and Exchange Commission says Golden Empire Legacy and Loom are not registered with the Commission. Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Reverend Daniel Ogbame Tete, indicated the Commission will follow due process in dealing with the two entities.
Golden Empire Legacy has been advertising as exporters and importers of gold, providing mining services, smelting and assaying, financial services, jewelry, among others. Loom claims to be a network business along the lines of a pyramid scheme.
There are these institutions or entities that are coming up in the news from last week about a Golden Empire Legacy Limited and Loom. Have they come to your notice?
Well, we have received some notice through the usual channels by which people notify us of these schemes, and we'll follow our usual process or procedure in advising clients.
Have they registered with the SEC?
Oh no, not at all.
The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Daniel Ogbame Tete, advised the public to do due diligence before investing in any company.
One of the fundamental questions you should ask before you place your money with any firm is to find out what is the underlying investment. Because if anybody promises you a return, and in any case we've indicated that when someone promises you a high return and tries to tell you that the return is guaranteed, it means that there is high risk involved, and you are better advised to look for the exit door. But a basic question anybody needs to ask is, what are you investing in? What are the underlying investments? Okay, because that will help you to appreciate what is being offered to you. People should move away from the habit of a friend or a relative saying that, oh, this thing is good or it is very good, because that is one of the ways to get into something that at the end of the day you end up burning your fingers.
He indicated that the Commission will follow due process.
Go after them because they seem to be running the same module as the previous.
I think I said that we'll follow our due process, so let that be my response for now.
We'll stay on the operations of those two entities and bring you some more in our subsequent bulletins. That does it for the business segment here on News 360 this evening. Visit our website, 3news.com, for a lot more business stories. Alfred, over to you.
Thank you. Business. Now, the basic
So that's the situation there. We apologize for the break in sound. We'll bring you that story again within the bulletin or subsequently. But meanwhile, the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, CCT Ghana, has cautioned invigilators against demanding money from BEC candidates to assist them pass the exams. President of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, King Ali Awudu, who spoke with our correspondent Daniel Opoku in Accra, said it would not shield anyone caught in any such acts by the West African Examination Council.
The Coalition of Concerned Teachers was reacting to media reports that some vigilators are demanding money from BEC students to assist them in the ongoing examinations by securing them exams questions.
Teachers that are involved in this should stop. In fact, your interaction with the student or pupil end on the eve of the examination when you have taught the student. You see, we should do everything possible to teach the students what we are supposed to teach within a stipulated period of time.
He said teachers and vigilators court will not be shielded by the association.
Especially to the members of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana, they should try as much as possible. In fact, they should take my words to move away from any form of examination or practice, because when they are caught, they should be rest assured that the Union Coalition of Concerned Teachers will never come to their defense.
The West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has banned the use of mobile phones at the exam centers, a directive the Coalition of Concerned Teachers supports.
In the Ghana Education Service, a teacher is not even supposed to carry phones to the classroom, or is not supposed to receive calls while teaching. So if a teacher is not supposed to receive mobile phone calls while teaching, why should a teacher who is supervising students or pupils that are writing exams be receiving calls? At the time that you are receiving the calls, anything could happen among the students' front or the pupil front. So it is in order.
The association has since warned students and vigilators not to engage in any form of examination or practices.
We can only wish them all the best, isn't
Certainly.
it? Yeah, but it's 5 days. We have our eyes on what's happening over the period, so stay with us in our subsequent bulletins. We'll bring you some more reports from other centers. So live here on News 360. We'll be back shortly with some more news.
And some more international news. 3 of Russia's leading newspapers have come out in support of a reporter charged with drug offenses in a case that has caused huge public outcry. Mr. Gunilov was charged over the weekend with trying to illegally sell drugs. His lawyer said the drugs were planted. The journalist was reportedly beaten up during his arrest last week. Mr. Gunilov, 36, is a freelance journalist who has contributed to a number of media outlets, including the Latvia-based site Meduza. More international news on our website. It's 3news.com. Thierry Nan stands by for the very latest from the world of sports. Stay with us.
And that was beautiful. Nakia Dramani Sam, winner of Talenta King Season 10, receiving that wonderful welcome. And that's how we wrap up tonight's edition of Entertainment News here on News 360. There's more news at 3news.com, and so you can visit that further. Alfred,
yeah,
I mean, last Saturday was beautiful at Jumakwe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear. Well deserved, I must say.
Totally. First time a poet is winning. First time a 7-year-old is winning his record.
7-year-old would be hard to beat this record.
Very, very How do you do that?
Great career.
How do you do that?
Jumako is on the radar now, and they're all happy. It's
very elated. She has a lot of talent.
Great stuff. And I must congratulate you guys as well for putting this together. For the children of this country to be able to also have their talent developed, not just exposed, but developed as well. Thank you so much. It's been amazing with you over the last 60 minutes. My name is Alfred Okansi.
I'm Natalie Force. Visit our website, 3news.com, for a lot more news. Thanks so much for watching. Have a pleasant evening.